the morning to you.
I would try to give you an Irish accent, but I'm sure it would sound terrible.
Yeah.
So my Irish and English and Australian accent all start to sound the same. So
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bore you with that. But I guess, cat's out of the bag. We're talking about some Irish whiskey today.
Yeah, this is new for us.
I know this is a new category.
Yeah.
We have pretty much been in the bourbon and rye lane. I think we had one or two single malts.
Yeah,
but never Irish.
No.
And it's that time of year. It's St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, so why not delve into some Irish whiskey and find out what it's all about?
Yeah, I think we should, and then we can dance like the Irish guys do.
Yeah. How do the Irish guys dance?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not trying. Have you ever watched these videos on YouTube? There's Irish people trying this.
Yes.
They have one Irish people trying bourbon. Well, I guess these are bourbon guys trying Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
I did my genealogy a few years ago, like the ancestry thing, and I'll just say I'm a whitey. Most of my ancestry comes from, I think it was England, and then it was like Germanic, Europe, and then Ireland was number 3, so I'm like 17% Irish, and then Scottish and whatever. So red hair, does that make you Irish?
I have German, Irish, and Scottish.
All right, so we're the same.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, we're the same people.
That's right.
Sort of.
That is, yeah.
All right, so you set this one up today. What we got?
So we got kind of an interesting variety. I'm thinking there's 2 that most people have if you drink Irish whiskey. One, I would be surprised that many people have had, and then one is brand new. So we have the Proper 12. This McCabe's is the Hard Truth offering of Irish whiskey, and it's bottled in Nashville, but it says a product of Ireland. So
it does say it was from County Cavan, Ireland. So
so it's a real deal.
Yeah.
This is my Pee-wee bottle of Jameson's. And then this is a new offering that Jameson's is offering. So it's called Triple Triple. It's triple distilled, triple cast in bourbon, cherry, and chestnut cast.
And I did some research the other day, and I actually printed notes, and I forgot them because I want to understand, what is Irish whiskey, right? And I'm going from memory here. So if you're all say, nope, that's wrong, leave a comment because I don't need to be right here. But what I gathered, what makes it Irish whiskey is it's generally produced from a malted barley, and it's usually only barley. I don't know that they add anything else. Yeah. It is usually double, sometimes triple distilled.
Yeah.
It is also aged, I think, for a minimum of 3 years. And I can't remember. I don't know that it's like as strict as bourbon having to be aged in a new charred oak container. I don't know that it's that specific, but there are some rules.
There are some rules. What's interesting to me is how light in color the Irish whiskeys are compared to what we normally are delving into.
Yeah. So this almost tells me these probably aren't aged in new charred barrels. Right. It might be a new barrel. It might not be charred.
Right.
It might be toasted or something like that. But anyway, if you all have some feedback or some insights into what makes Irish whiskey, what the specific rules are, leave us a comment. I like to learn new things. So I've had, to your point, I've had this before, and I've had this before, and there might be 1 or 2 Irish whiskeys, but this is going to generally be new to me.
Yeah. And it's not something that I do a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, typically I stick to what I know.
Yeah.
And I'll have this on occasion.
Like this time of year?
Yeah, this time of year. This would be completely new to me. This I did drink down at Hard Truth. But I'm interested to kind of see the difference between these 2.
If there's a distinguishable difference.
Yeah. Or if it's just a great marketing play.
Yeah. All right, let's dive in. Proper 12 up first.
Yeah. I mean, the nose isn't terrible, but there's not. I mean,
it's light.
It's light. That's right. It's
a soft. It's nothing jumping out and grabbing you per se.
It's interesting because you could almost. It's almost like a light white wine or something almost. I mean,
I don't know that I would sniff this and say, this is whiskey.
That's right.
But then again, my point of reference or my context is mostly I'm drinking bourbon and I'm drinking rye. So completely different nose.
Completely.
Now, do you know what the proof of that is? I think most Irish are going to be around 80.
Well, this says this was aged 4 years in bourbon barrels.
Okay.
80.
I think I don't think this is a rule per se, but I think most Irish whiskeys, at least that I've seen, are probably going to be around that 80 proof.
Yeah.
Which, if you gave me a bourbon that's 80 proof, I'm not going to say I'm not going to like it, but I'm not going to like it as well as something that's
correct.
Proof.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're using it for a mixer probably.
Yeah.
Or old fashioned or something. Let's see what this is.
I mean, it's pleasant nose. It's just soft, subtle. To Jamie's point, it seems to have more wine notes. Even if this is aged in a bourbon barrel, I'm not getting a lot of bourbon.
Out of it, it's more of a floral type of note.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it. All right, here we go. The floral is right there.
It is right. It's what's there. I mean, it's not a bad drink.
No, not at all.
No, I mean, not at all.
Very smooth, super smooth, dangerously smooth.
That is a good. Yeah, that's good. It is dangerously smooth because there's no harshness to it at all.
No bite.
No
bite.
So maybe some of the people out there that watch this or have spouses who are not interested in the bite of a bourbon or a whiskey, this may be something they can. I mean, be interested to see our producer Amanda take a swig of this.
Well, here soon we're going to be imbibing in some St. Patrick's Day festivities, and we're going to do another Irish whiskey video here soon. There's one of those that she loves a whole bunch. She wanted to make sure we get some of that. So I got it. Well, Jamie and I will sample it here in a future video, so check that out.
But that is amazingly smooth. There's no bite. The floral, it's a soft for an 80 proof, even 80 proof. I mean, you're thinking there'd be a little bit of harsh. There's nothing.
No,
there's nothing there.
I mean,
nothing bad. I mean, it's a good drink.
The floral, it's not like it's subtle. It's not like I just grabbed a bunch of flowers and mashed them up and made some sort of tincture or tea. It's not overpowering.
Correct.
But it does have a nice spring-like
it does.
note to it.
Yeah, no wonder them
That's
crazy
good.
Irishmen drink this in March.
I know, exactly. All right, let's go to number 2, and this is offered from Hard Truth, but supposedly comes straight from Ireland. And it's hard to tell these this one, but it's so light in color.
Yeah, it's very light in color.
Like and the lighting in here is a little dim, but in my glass, it just looks like there's water in here.
And the nose is very similar.
Yeah.
And it was not finished in a bourbon barrel.
I would say this even smells more like a Chardonnay.
Correct. I 100%
more so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very wineish.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a new word we came up with today.
And it doesn't say no age statement or anything. Again, 80 proof.
Yeah, 80 proof. Yeah.
I don't know how old it is.
Age 3 years.
3 years. Okay, so I think that's
back to what you're talking about. Yeah.
Again, I think that's what makes it Irish whiskey. I think it has to be 3 years.
Yeah.
But clearly, at least my assumption based on the color, whatever this was aged in didn't have any char or toast to it probably at all.
And it's colored almost like an apple juice.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have the smell.
Actually, I've seen apple juices darker than this.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive in. That's surprising.
That's where I'm at.
Not in a bad way. Sorry, my facial reaction probably isn't giving you a lot of verbal or visual cues. It tastes more like whiskey.
It does. This is what, I guess, before I drank Irish whiskey, this is kind of what I think of was being drank over in an Irish pub somewhere. Because it does. It has that whiskey taste to it. It has the soft nose of an Irish whiskey, and this is something I could see a toothless Irishman.
Which I might be that guy someday. So. Yeah, I think, again, it's very, very, very smooth.
Very.
Dangerously smooth. However, for me, toward the mid to late palate, there's a little bit of a bite. Like okay, I could tell. Like the first one is like, is there alcohol in this, or is it like you can tell there's alcohol, but it's more like you're drinking a glass of wine and alcohol versus a whiskey. This one is like, okay, there's something there. It can sneak up on me, and it's a little bit of almost a bitter note for me toward the tail end.
Yeah, these two have drastically different tastes to me.
Oh, yes.
But the nose is somewhat similar.
Yeah,
but
wine-like.
Wine-like. That's exactly how.
White wine-like.
Yeah. This one is dangerously smooth, and this one, you feel like you're drinking whiskey. I mean, you just...
Yeah, that's... I like that one. I didn't not like... the proper 12 was fine, but this one so far is good.
It's good.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, which is the standard Jameson offering.
I mean, people, this is what, like, if they do whiskey shots, they're probably going to Jameson.
Yeah.
Very popular, probably, I would dare say, probably the most popular Irish whiskey, I'm guessing there is, at least here in the United States.
Yeah. Now, it has a little more weak whiskey smell to it.
Yeah.
Than floral, I would say.
But it's got, it's reminiscent of a lower proof bourbon.
Correct, yes. Almost like an 80 proof bourbon.
Like, because I get a little bit of, like some of the char, maybe a slight little bit of oakiness on the nose.
Yeah, kind of like JW Damp. The ones we had that that $15 range that are one-noters.
Yeah, one-noters. It's a one-noter.
And that's okay. I mean, that's has good notes to it.
Yeah.
So.
And again, I think we're talking 80 proof, right? Like I can read that without.
Yes, it is.
80. Yeah. All right. Here we go. I didn't have a strong opinion about Irish whiskey before, so I'm glad we're doing this because it's helping to formulate my opinion about Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
And so far, 3 for 3 so far, they're all super smooth.
Super smooth. This one has a little bit more heat just on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because they've been doing it 200 or 300 years.
Mm-hmm.
But agree. I mean, these are all very smooth. They're very drinkable.
Well, and I've done enough playing around with malted barley that to know, and things that I've had. Anytime you get a malted grain, it has a tendency to add a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah.
And I think this in the Jameson, that comes out a lot.
A lot.
Not sweet like it's subtle. I mean, there's enough sweetness to like. I don't have a huge sweet tooth.
Yeah.
But every now and then I want something sweet. Yeah. And there's enough there. It's like, okay, I feel satiated from that.
Yeah.
Whereas there's some bourbons, and I'm just using this as an example, but like the classic Buffalo Trace, like almost their entire family, it's like very sweet, and there's nothing wrong with it. But this is it's almost has it's kind of reminiscent of Buffalo Trace watered down.
Yeah.
As far as sweetness is concerned.
Yeah, this is sweet, but it's just sweet enough. I mean, it doesn't kill you, and it did.
Yeah, and sometimes when you get something that's super sweet, at least for me, the way it leaves my mouth feeling is
you're kind of still trying to chew something. There's nothing there.
It's like it almost dries my mouth out in a weird sort of way. But that is also very good.
Very good.
Very good. All right, so
let's try this new offering. Now the nose is a little different on this.
This is a lot different on the nose.
Yeah. There's that bourbonish is coming through.
I know it doesn't have corn in it, but it's almost got like some corn on the nose.
No, you're right. It doesn't, and it does. It's
But there's also something else. It's like I've smelt that smell before, and I'm not going to place it in time to be meaningful in this conversation, but there's a familiarity to it. And it smells nothing like the classic
Nothing.
Jameson to me.
No, so far they're completely different. Yeah, you're right.
I don't
Almost
know.
like a weak grape.
A what?
Weak grape.
Yeah. Which kind of gets us back maybe in the wine category. But like I said, I'm getting a corn-ish kind of note on here. Not so much corn, but do you ever like cook a ear of corn, like boil it in water?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you take the corn out and then you smell the corn water?
Yeah.
It's like corn water.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very sweet.
And my wife loves the smell of corn water.
Yeah, of course she does.
Yeah. But yeah, it's got some sweetness to it. There's something else there I'm not picking up on, but maybe it'll become obvious when I take a sip here.
There are weak notes of bourbon. I mean, it pulled stuff out of that stuff.
Yeah.
Was it also a sherry and something? I think.
Well, there's something that's making this taste different for sure. So this is triple distilled, triple cask, bourbon, sherry, and chestnut cask. So that almost implies to me that it's being stored in a bourbon barrel for a period of time.
Yeah.
A sherry barrel for a period of time, and then chestnut. I have no idea how long each of those. It does say on the bottle, velvety notes of toffee, cacao, and toasted almond with an extra drop of smoothness. I don't know that I'm getting toffee or cacao or almond.
Yeah. But I get a bourbon feel for that.
And we've had some sherry finished things before, and I think some of those notes are coming through.
I do too. I think the sherry's coming through.
Chestnut, I don't know.
Still very smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth. It's just so much different. Not good or bad. It's not my favorite of the four, though.
No. I would. Macandrews is pretty good, and I still like this. I like Proper 12.
But that would grow on me.
This would grow on you.
I mean, in the moment, it's probably my least favorite of the four. If I gave each of these some time, like an evening, I could see that changing a whole bunch. Because this has, again, my palate is sort of tuned in to bourbon and rye. And of the four, this one resembles bourbon and rye most, I think.
Yeah, easily.
I don't know. It's lovely. I would say if I were to pick, I think today in the moment, the McCabe's number one, Jameson Proper 12, and then this one.
Yeah,
in the moment.
I don't disagree at all. I mean, that's where I would go as well.
All good.
I'm interested to see if Hard Truth gets more involved in this, because I haven't seen this out a whole lot, but I know it is. You can find it out in stores. So,
yeah.
It's interesting. But no, all good offerings.
All right, well, be safe on St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll have check it out. We're going to have another Irish whiskey video here coming up real soon, so check that out too. So thank you all.